Or like your chefs, or somebody that has really a service that you want the best.
I think Valerie screens the letters, the things that she knows.
Well, I mean, if I were involved
she has a lot
in the
of
community,
power.
I would think that would
bring me the Iron Chef. Yeah,
yes, you'd want to have a screening process for many different things, but particularly if you're looking to support your community in all the different ways that they're you might be looking for someone for plumbing, nursing. I mean,
Brad, the guy who was teasing me about the car stuff, is a plumber. Yeah. We don't actually. I mean,
no car mechanic, or
car mechanics we love. I mean, there are people who. So one of, I mean, we have we have 12 we have 11 visitor groups a year, and they're 3 weeks long, and there are about a dozen people in each of them. So we're looking at on the order of it's right around 100 guests that come through who have the possibility of considering membership, and lots of people come for that 3-week visitor period without the thought that they're going to join here, and they fall in love with the place, or they fall in love with somebody who's at the place, or they realize that they want to have a dramatically different situation than they expected.
Or they want it and really need it because they have these great skills. That makes them, be wanted is a big draw.
Yeah, well,
that's how we recruit people, is that when somebody with highly desirable skills who is presumably an okay or hopefully nice person, then we say, oh, thank you so much for fixing this toilet or getting this light to work again.
Yeah, because it's not like you have a 12-year-old in the community or a 14-year-old and you say, look, we're going to, in a few years, we're really going to need someone who's a really great carpenter, so we're going to train you in the field of carpentry.
Oh, except that we do.
You don't.
We do. I mean, we do because of the...
I mean, general skill teaching, sure, because that's part of the
No, we have the homeschooling curriculum. One of the, Keenan, who is one of our parents and one of our person who's been here for more than 25 years, he's developed this homeschooling curriculum in which the kids by certain ages have to have built different kinds of things, and they have to have basically built an entire small building by the time they're 18, like all of the pieces of it, like the wiring,
and then
plumbing.
You hope that one of them decides to stay, or is that?
No, it's just part of what we think is homeschooling curriculum, is that you should be able to fix the stuff that's around you.
Yeah, well, I agree. I just was thinking in terms of supporting the community over the long term in certain career fields.
We train people. I mean, that's the other thing. We try to have some defense in depth around all of the sort of critical services. So there's always somebody who is teaching, and we have ex-members in the area also who are very handy and come in and help, are familiar with the systems for years. And there are also people who have been here for literally decades and have a lot of technical skills and can, in a pinch, be sort of pulled back out of retirement and say, oh, hey, how do we get this? Like this is what happened in the earthquake, is one of the guys who's he's been involved in building half of the buildings here, and that's not what he does anymore. When we had the earthquake, he was walking around, looking at foundations, making sure all the systems which he was intimately familiar with were okay. When things were broken, he was able to determine whether or not it needed to be turned off to be disabled, or whether or not we could still operate it.
He's been here since '75. Yeah,
So
continuously.
so you have your internal community, and then you really have this external community that surrounds you and is very supportive. That's I hadn't really thought about that.
And we're going to do a potluck. We're going to invite our neighbors. We're going to go around and choose, probably in October. We're going to or late September, we're going to pass out invitations and have a potluck dinner here and have a meeting in which we discuss how we can be better neighbors.
Well, I think that's a good idea, because there is a little bit of I don't want to say, part of it's fear, that you run across people that are relatively new to Louisa, or even old-timers. Some of them are old-timers who have a bad feeling about the idea that there's this commune, out there. And I don't know, I think it's a good thing to be good neighbors and let people in, see what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we have tours every Saturday.
Yeah, and then that I know. That's how. I mean, I participated, but there are a lot of people that wouldn't want to do a tour. Wouldn't want to do it.
But
so
if
you have to rely on some other method.
Well, what this does is it gets to word of mouth. I mean, if we talk to 20 of our neighbors around and they have a positive experience here and they see that we're cooperators, and then maybe we have some tool that can help them, or maybe we can share some of these things between us, because a lot of us are in agricultural business. We have a whole bunch
and then you hear that those pot growing hippies out there at Twin Oaks, which may or may may not be true. I don't know.
They're
but
not growing pot on the property.
There are very strong agreements that we don't do that because it's so dangerous.
It is dangerous, and yeah, you can bring your whole community down.
Right.
But there are people
like
that
Waco,
that think that that's the way it is here. So
I'm going to stop.